Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. Welcome to the beginning of October 1982. We last tried to check out Billards for the Commodore Max machine, but it turns out this one is lost. Let's see what is next. Coming up next is Bounceoids on the TRS-80. Hopefully by now you got the Model 3. Let's check it out. This marks our 221st game for the TRS-80 that we played here on Chronologically Gaming. This is Bounceoids. This is by Cornsoft Group. And this one marks their fourth game we've seen here on the show after things like Scarfman and Space Castle. And the front of the box looks kind of like this, at least the other ones we've seen, showing you exactly what the game's going to be like. No frills, nothing fancy. That's pretty much the whole game. They got guts. You flip it over the box in the back. Bounceoids is a blast. Try to clear the Bounceoid boulders from the screen while avoiding a variety of Bounceoid creatures. The Bounceoid boulders rebound when they bump the edge of the screen. The boulders cluster together in several interesting patterns. Beware of the tiny Bounceoid cluster. The TBC... What is the TBC? Oh, Tiny Bounceoid Cluster. Okay, they're going to use acronyms on us. Composed of mini boulders that look like one boulder. You'll have to hit a TBC many times to clear the screen. Bounceoids is best with sound. Connect a small amplifier to the aux plug and the cassette cable on your computer. Sound is the way to tell when your ship is near depletion. The shield has limited lifespan based on the number of times your ship is hit, and there explains what we got. The boulder, the spider, the natives, the jigger, and then you can use keyboard or joystick, which is so nice on the TRS-80, and then our loading instructions as well. Here's an ad you would have seen in magazines: great bouncing boulders. It's Bounceoids, the newest arcade experience, and it is the newest arcade experience, either for your Model 1 or Model 3. And there's our 5 1/4 floppy disk. We're going to pop in our TRS-80 to play. Here is Bounceoids. This is by Mysosis, Robert Pappas, published by Cornsoft Group at the beginning of October 1982. Here we go. I want to bounce. And I love that we had TRS-80 games start showing up with joystick control. It is so fun. There we go. Cornsoft Group presents Bring It On. So we can do enter to play, clear for directions. Let's hit clear. How do we play? It shows us the keyboard and joystick controls just like the box. And we have the rotating, thrust, fire, and shield. Okay, so, and it works all with a joystick too. You can have a sound of the shield indicates your strength. Every 10,000 points gives you a free ship. Seems really fun and seems pretty self-explanatory. Let's hit enter to play. How many players do we want? If we do 2 players, it's alternate play, so I'm going to go with 1 player. And then skill level, let's just go 3. Why not? And we're in. Oh, yes. It is another... Oh, you can't... The screen doesn't wrap. It's another Asteroids variant, and I was expecting to be able to drive off the side of the screen and show up on the other side, but no, you don't. I'm waiting for the respawn, and I guess we have too many clusters. There it is. Okay, let's try this again. So you are... Whoa! Okay, so it's one of the most difficult Asteroid variants we've ever played because every other one has everything wrapping around the screen, but this does not do that. It bounces off the edge of the screen, which means even yourself, you can't leave this. You can't leave. Look, I'm stuck at the top. You have to play it within the boundaries of the game. Cool. Okay, so maybe I should have picked an easier difficulty because that's really, really hard. Everything is confined right here, bouncing around. It's almost like we're playing a version of a Breakout where you're shooting everything inside one. Okay, we already got a game over. It didn't take too long. I know, right? With all the flickering. All right, let's try this again. Going enter. How many players? We'll do 1, and I'll start with skill level 0 now that I know the screen doesn't wrap. All right, here we go. Bring it on. Okay, how many is going to show up? Plus, we can pull back to use our shield, and it works. Very nice. Unless you don't use it, and then it goes away. I really dig those sound effects from the TRS-80, though. It's really nice. All right, let's do it. Come on, go. Man, so what's going on is whenever you try to move your ship, there's a slight delay on the thrusting forward. Let's try it again. There. That's better. Nice. Oh, interesting. Okay, so they added a few other turrets on the side. Rather than just the asteroids or the bounceoids, they have something else that's firing from the edge. So changing it up a little bit is pretty cool too. I love it. We're going to get game over again. So we consider these games or refer to these games as multi-directional shooters. And this one's obviously Asteroids variants. This is our 40th Asteroid variant we've seen here on the show since the first Asteroids in November 1979. All right, so let's do it again. 1 and 0. Let's see if we can see those turrets again. Love the explosion with all the shrapnel everywhere. It's awesome. So something is to note, of all the other Asteroids type variants we've seen so far, some of the more recent ones have been things like microbes on the Coco, Star Maze for the Apple II, but that version of Asteroids, it allowed you to go around the screen or scroll the screen. And then Meteor Storm was on the ZX Spectrum, Astro Warriors was on the Atari home computer, Space Rocks on the VIC-20, Astro Warrior on the Atom, Quadrant 6112 for the Apple II, Satellites and Meteorites on the VIC-20, and Astro Dodge was on IBM PCs. And then Super Asteroids was also on the XD Sorcerer, so there's plenty of other Asteroid games you could be playing. And those aren't, that's not the exhaustive list, that's just some of the ones we've seen recently. Wow, you really take off. Look at the speed of the ship. Gosh, it's all over the place. Yeah, there it is. Look, it added turrets on the side. So cool. So it didn't do just normal bounceoids going around. You have other enemies that'll pop in too. It's awesome. All right, so that's all we got for Bounceoids. Of all the games you can play right now on a home computer, it's interesting because there's so many versions of Asteroids, and there's some better ones you could be playing that are this one out there. So I gotta hit it right down the center. It's very average for all the computer games you can be playing right now. So I'm gonna go with 3 stars for Bounceoids. Let's see what is next. Next, we're going to the IBM PC, or MS-DOS, or PC-DOS. This is Boxer Rebellion. So Boxer Rebellion is a game that doesn't have a lot of artwork, just a couple screenshots. So we're just going to pop in and play Boxer Rebellion. This is by K.L. Carpenter at sometime at the beginning of October 1982. Oh, there it is, the PC speaker. Give us the tunes. Okay, we got I for instructions, J to adjust the joystick, C to center the picture. Listen to the music, I love it. It's awesome. All right, so it's going in a demo mode. We already kind of see what the game is. This one marks our 109th game that we played on MS-DOS or IBM computers. So there's already been 109 games since it was first seen in 1981, at least games since 1981. All right, let's go in. We can start with there. Oh, it's going to play the music again. It's going to go back to the opening. If you don't put anything in, then it goes right to the beginning. There we go. That's the center screen. Nice. So we'll do I for instructions. This is you. Your objective is to earn as many points as possible. The number in the middle of each box is added to your score when you've traveled completely around the box. Like so. Nice tutorial. You can control your man with the joystick or the arrow keys. Joystick on the IBM? That's awesome. Sounds easy, but watch out for these guys. If you run into you or shoot you, then you blow up. Nice. You have 3 chances, or a 4th if you get 100,000 points. That's a lot of points. Your only defense is to leave a gap or jump away. You can push the button on the joystick. Oh, so they have the jump ability too. That's cool. A bonus is added to your score at the end of each completed level. Function 1 freezes the game. Key 1, 2, and 5 restarts the game. 6 stops the game. So I'm telling you what all the function keys do on your IBM. Sweet. No way! You have the manual for Bounceoids? That's awesome. All right, so we're not going to adjust the joystick. We saw what the instructions are. Let's go ahead and go, don't need to center the picture. And escape to start the game. There we go. What level do we want? Let's start with level 1. We want sound on? Yes, bring on the sound. All right, so we were represented by the Green Diamond. It is another, we call these grid capture games. One of the most popular grid capture games we've seen so far is Amadar. So here it is first on the IBM PC. Can I do the jump? Oh, okay, so jump just sends you across. It doesn't actually, like, jump you up like it does with Jeepers Creepers in the arcade. Let's see. Whoa. Look at all the flashing. Okay, and then we go into level 2. Nice. So yeah, it's an Amadar variant you can play on your IBM PC. So cool. If you enjoy these style of games, this is a very well done arcade game, if this is what you would like. And this is done all pretty good. Or at least as good as, you know, it could be. Functions really well. What's really amazing is the joystick control. This one, I believe, is the fourth ever joystick-controlled game on the IBM PC, at least what we've seen here on the show. After Apple Panic, Set the Hostages Free, and Rocket are some examples of joystick-controlled games you could play on your IBM, but everything else has been keyboard only. And I guess the faster you get it done, you get a bigger bonus at the end. Let's see if it sends us. No, it won't do that one. Nice. Experience the amazingness. So this one has 9 levels that you can be playing. We won't be seeing all 9, but you can see that they're mixing it up with a few things. Changing the gameplay. Whoa, why can't I go right? Oh, there we go. It wasn't going right for a sec. Really, really cool. If you loved Amadar, or many of the other games that are variants of Amadar, and you had an IBM, this would be your only option. As far as home computer games go, there's only a few out there. At this point, we played 14 grid capture style games. So not just Amadar style, but just a grid capture in general. This is the 14th one. And for Amadar, this one would be our 9th game that is like Amadar. And most of those are going to be found in the arcade, but one of the best ones we've seen on home computers was on the Atari, and that was Jeepers Creepers. That is the best one that you could play right now. But it had power-ups, it had a lot of things that made it even better than Amadar at home. It was pretty good. Oh, we can do our name in here? Nice. Oh, I bet it's going to take, yep, lowercase and uppercase. Nice. Do you want to play again? Cool, yeah, let's do level 4. Sound on, yes. Cool, and it starts on the level, so you can pick the level. It's like a level select before you begin. There we go. So cool. Yep, the jump. How many jumps can I do? It looks like my... Oh, okay, you use 100 points of the bonus score, which is the score at the top right. I enjoyed the little ditty they had at the beginning, but now, as far as the game goes, it's just constant PC speaker sounds happening in the background. It looks like the giant grid. We don't get any points for that when we complete it. Yeah, all it matters is on the outside. Notice that the points in the center keep changing. Ready, set, go. There it is. Gosh. So there you go. That's Boxer Rebellion. We've already said how many games you could be playing from this style of game, but for a home computer, this is actually all right. It's still considered, in my opinion, pretty average. If you think of all the games you could play right now on a home computer, it doesn't have the level of gameplay for all the other games for home computers. But if you're hard-pressed for this kind of game on IBM, this is the only one right now. I know, right? So here we go. This is still around average. If you wanted to play the official Amadar, it's available on the Japanese PC 6001 right now, but it doesn't look the same or play the same. We weren't able to play it here on the show, but I'd even say that this is better or plays better than that one. So I'm still going to say of all the games you could play right now on a home computer, I'll say 3 stars for Boxer Rebellion. 9 levels, it's good enough for what for considered an arcade variant. All right, let's see what our next title is. It's time to play the Breckenridge Caper of 1798 on the Apple II. What in the world is the Breckenridge Caper? Well, we're going to find out. Here's the box. Oh, I see. It's educational Apple software. This is by Stephen Cabernetti. And we've already seen him on the show for Quest for the Scarlet Letter in March 1982, and we gave it kind of subpar because it was very high in educational value, and this one's still kind of like that, but this one's more just geared for straight text adventure with a mystery element. You flip it over the back, and there it is. The Breckenridge Caper of 1798 is a challenging adventure that takes place in 18th century during the Napoleonic era. The adventure is a time simulation that occurs in the streets of London. You are commissioned to search for a diplomat carrying plans vital to the interests of king and country. Your quest will be aided if you have knowledge of the European history. In any event, you will have many hours of intrigue ahead of you in the Breckenridge caper of 1798, as variables change each time you play. You need 48K on your Apple II. And there's an ad you would have seen in magazines with all three by Stephen Cabernetti. We've only seen the bottom two, so I haven't seen Legendary Conflict yet. Yeah, they're all boast them as educational adventures. So this one's a little bit educational. And there we go. So we have the order form for all of them. That's pretty cool. And you can see Breckenridge Caper was running for 29 bucks. Let's see if it's worth it. There's the 5 1/4 floppy disk. We'll pop in our Apple II. Nice, with very cool artwork for the front. If you wanted something educational. I don't know how educational it'll go, though. Let's see. We also have the inside sleeve. They refer to it as a simulation in the era of Napoleon at the beginning, just as beginning to emerge as the power in France. Acting as Ezekiel Breckenridge, a spy in His Majesty's service, it is your task to offset the intensity of these chaotic times in order to secure the interest of king and country. Whether you have considerable or limited knowledge of European history, you may wish to map out your route, and that's true with all text adventure games. If you proceed through the adventure, keep in mind the fact that it is timed, which is another thing about this adventure game that's a little unique. You have 3 different choices. After you select your choice, you have return to continue. And if you want to move left or right, use L and R. And this would have been really helpful when we played the Scarlet Letter because it added more than just text adventure or locations to go to. And we didn't have a manual for that one. So I'd love to see if anyone does dig up a manual for the Scarlet Letter, if you're into that period of time. And if you're unsuccessful, you can, okay, so it's showing you the breakdown of controls. So very, very simple, kind of the usual. This one is, let's just go ahead and pop it and play some Breckenridge Caper of 1798. This is published by Superior Software at some time in, oh, that's right, we got to load it this way. Let's go this way. This is sometime at the beginning of October 1982. And don't be confused with this Superior Software with another one that was only releasing TRS-80 games in 1981, or Superior Software that released games in the United Kingdom. This is a different Superior Software. There's 3 or 4 of them out there. All right, here we go. The first adventure from Time. Press any key to begin. I'm intrigued. So we can do background information, direction, and game tips, or just commence the adventure. And this is part of the educational side of it, I guess. So let's just go ahead and say C and go. Do you have an integer-based basic card? No. I don't think any video games ever asked me that question. The Breckenridge Caper of 1798. Excuse the delay. Prepare yourself for simulation. Nice. This is like they're trying to put us in the era of Napoleon. Or right before his rise to power. So there's our time at the top. You're on Dover Street. A sign says boarding house for tenants, travelers, bed and breakfast, 6 pence, bath, 2 pence extra, and then a choice of routes, and your financial status, we have 300 pence right now. Very interesting. Now, I would suggest checking out the links I have down below for Ringa and Blue. They did a full report on this and played it much longer than we'll be able to play here on the live show. And it's essentially where you get to solve a mystery, which is really cool for an educational title. And this kind of game has no official walkthrough that I could see. There's nothing that's found online of how to walk through this game. Most educational games are like that, though. All right, so what we're going to do, let's go ahead and head right. Just got to type R. Now we're at a sign that says, Lord Ramsay's Coffee House. All welcome, complete supper, and rum tankard are 12 pence. All right, let's head right again. This is just leads us in one giant circle, I think. Now we're through a small window on the side. You can view several presses inside of the newspaper building. Nice. Let's go right again. Sign says Nelson House of Barbary and Snuff. So we're just exploring in this world of 1798, which I believe we're in England right now. Yeah, there we go. Signs and window display clearly show that they're before a Portsmouth bank. Okay, there we go. So we're in Portsmouth, United Kingdom. Okay, so let's go right again. And you see it's just one circle that you would have to map out yourself. The Taylor Silversmith's firm, quality merchandise at dealer's cost. And the whole point of the game is you're supposed to find this console with information about Napoleon. And so the whole point of the game is the mystery of obviously working the text adventure to find this person and the paperwork that proves this. And then once you've done that, then you solve the mystery. Pretty cool. All right. So there you go. A quick taste of some educational content or educational slash text adventure game. Now, of all the games you could be playing right now on a home computer, obviously it still has the educational value, but because it has the mystery thrown in there, that's still pretty cool. Of all the games you can play right now on home computers, most, like the Scott Adams adventure games, I was giving around average scores for computer games. This one right here would still seem somewhere around the average range, but there's a lot of limited elements to it. It doesn't have like you see, the interface is fairly simplistic. It has things going for it like the timed the timed game. It has a little economy that's part of it, and because the text parser isn't incredibly impressive, I'm thinking still close to the average range. So I'm going to say 3 stars still, but it's almost like I'm pulling forward because some of the things it does well, but then I'm pulling back because of some of the things it doesn't do as well. So I'll also say 3 stars for all the games right now you could play on a home computer. Pretty cool for an educational title. All right, let's see what our next game is. All right, it's time to go on the Atari VCS and play Bugs. Let's check it out. This is the box for Bugs, and is by Data Age. This should not be confused with Bugs that we saw on MS-DOS in August 1982. This is a totally different game. And this is the second game we've seen from Data Age after Journey Escape. So the second one, front of the box is pretty cool. A bug in your crosshairs. Fairly simplistic though. Let's see, flip it over on the back of the box. The barren surface of an alien planet harbors hidden life, giant bugs that live in subterranean hives. Will your ultrasonic weapon destroy them before they leave nests, or will they walk all over you? A creepy situation, to say the least, but some fast action using paddle controls. A paddle control shooter? Okay. I'll try it out. What else do we have for Bugs? By Data Age. This game marks our 135th game for the Atari VCS, to let you know how many releases are right now that you could be playing on your Atari. We also have the ad you would have seen in the catalog from Data Age, giving you a little backstory of the planet or the game itself, how to begin and play the game, and how to use the controllers, because it's a paddle-controlled shooter. This is the back of the record that you could win, and this is the front of the record that you could win, the Mindscape by Data Age. And you can see down at the bottom, there's some of the games we played already. Like, actually, I don't think we played all those games yet. Oh, I see, because Data Age re-released them. Some of those are the Tron-style games, but they're not branded as Tron. But Bugs is down there at the bottom. And there it is. We have something every video game player must have, and it's yours, free. It's Mindscape, the hottest record in the video game world. It's free at all leading video game retailers. Nice, and they advertise Bugs on it as well. That's pretty cool. There's our cartridge we're going to pop it and play on our Atari VCS. Wow. How do we play some Bugs? Very cool. Extermination instructions. Same story we had on the back of the box by Data Age. How to combat the infestation. Now, it breaks down a lot of text just showing you, make sure the console's turned off, plug in the cartridge, turn it back on, plug your paddle controllers in, select the game variation you want to play, 1 or 2 players, select the difficulty level with the difficulty switch. Okay, so you can just do the difficulty switch A and B, beginners or advanced, but then there's really, the only game mode is 1 or 2 players. To start the game, press the fire button on your paddle controller, and then if your weapon is destroyed by a phalanx, or if bugs leave their nest and damage your ship, press the fire button to initiate repairs and continue the game. When a player's weapon or ship has been damaged 3 times, the game is over. There's our scores, an example of a screenshot right there. And we have, when destroying bugs, walk out for the phalanx, sent to you by the superbugs to penetrate your ship's hull and destroy your weapon. As long as the phalanx is green, he's outside your ship and harmless. Your weapon's also harmless to him. But when a phalanx changes color to yellow, there's a warning, and then red, he's entered your ship. You must try to destroy him by luring him into your weapon's line of fire before he makes contact with your weapon. Interesting, okay. How do you rack up points? Shows you right there. And additional extermination strategies as they use, giving us tips and tricks on our Atari. I love it. You have to destroy swarms of invading bugs out to immobilize your spacecraft. So it seems very generic. Of all the things we've seen so far, this doesn't sound like something original or new. We also have the other version available by Game World in PAL regions in 1983. We're going to play the very first here. This is Bugs by Data Age at sometime in the beginning of October 1982. Let's go. All right, so I'm one player, so I'm not going to switch to 2 players. And go ahead and hit reset, and let's do this. Whoa, it's paddle-controlled shooter. Look at this. So the bugs are progressively growing. Oh, you got to make sure you kill them. So you get 2 things that are happening right now. The bugs are progressively going larger and larger to the top of the screen. If anyone makes it to the top, then you lose a life. If you have the phylax enemy that shows up in my crosshairs, there it is. He's green right now. As soon as he turns red, he comes at you pretty fast. You have to destroy him. So you have 2 things happening at the same time. But interesting that they chose to go with a... Oh, here he comes. Nice. So it works to be able to shoot the phylax when it gets in your radar once he turns red, but the bugs... By the way, that's not a bug. That looks more like a lizard in the center there. Oh, we already lose? Is that already game over? That's fast. All right, we'll go ahead and hit reset and go in again. So you got to be quick with shooting the bugs before they get too long, and then also make sure... Didn't he blow up? Oh, there he goes. So they just keep growing bigger and bigger. Man, it's pretty difficult, though. Even with the paddle controls, you got to be warp speed to be able to play it like this. Oh, he got another one. Once he gets to the top of the screen, that's it. It's game over. Having to deal with both at the same time is really, really tricky. Now, we already had our next game over. Let's go ahead and hit reset and go in again. Cool presentation there, but as far as gameplay-wise, this honestly doesn't feel like a fixed shooter. This feels like I'm playing a shooting gallery. Wow. With the exception of that element, you know, the phylax coming after us. Phylax? I'm sure I'm pronouncing it wrong now. Come on. Also, some of my shots feel like... some of my shots feel like they're not connecting at the right time where the bug is. You know what this really needs? This game feels like it needs a light gun instead of a paddle-controlled crosshair, because it plays more like a shooting gallery. So it feels like I'm supposed to get it. God, see, in the time it took me to take out the phylax and then the bug, I didn't even have the time for it. I want to be able to. This it feels like it should be made for a pistol. I'm already at a game over. We'll go again. Get him. Nope. Yeah. Now, this isn't new, though. The concept of a paddle shooter we've already seen on the Atari. This one just doesn't play well. It feels like this is programmed and meant to be fit a different way. Yeah, gosh, like it feels like it was programmed for the wrong purpose. Gotta time that, but then by the time you time the shot for killing the phylax, they all make it to the top. Or the bugs go all the way, man. So very, very tricky. So honestly, after playing this, and we already played Journey Escape, I actually want to give Journey Escape even more props and rate it higher than we did. I mean, considering both games, both data age games. So for other paddle shooters, we've already seen a couple on the Atari, like Guardian by Apollo, and then Demons to Diamonds, which is still fairly average for the time. This one, I'm going to have to go subpar. It's almost borderline if I would want to call it bad. It has some merit that you would find enjoyable because there's not as many paddle shooters, and most of the paddle games are going to be, Pong style games. So I'll still say it's a subpar title. 2.5 stars for all the games right now you could play on home consoles. There are some other titles that are considered bad for home consoles. I don't think I would consider this bad. It's just not up to snuff with the other things out there. All right, so there's Bugs, a poor showing and the beginning of what's more to come on the Atari. Yikes. That's all we got time for on Chronologically Gaming. Put your game playing on pause. Next time on Chronologically Gaming, we have Maybe Is That Video Pinball? A whole new concept, and it's Intellivision versus ColecoVision as we play the same game on both platforms. That's it for today, and like I always say, gaming is more fun with a friend. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we missed any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and MAME. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are perpetually retro, and we will catch you next time.